Thank you so much for joining me today. So, this channel is almost at 5,000 subscribers, which I think is a meaningful milestone. And so in today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my own personal journey with ASMR, how I discovered ASMR, what made me decide to start my own channel. So this video will just be a super simple, soft-spoken story time. Hopefully you find it relaxing. Hopefully you find it a little bit interesting, but let's get straight to it. So, like many people, I have experienced ASMR since before I knew really what ASMR even was. I remember distinctly sitting on the rug in probably first or second grade, and we would practice spelling by tracing letters on each other's backs and having the other person guess the word. And I loved this activity. I loved it so much. I probably tried to sneak extra turns so that I could be the person being traced on. But we would just trace letters and that gentle, not really a massage, but just gentle contact I absolutely loved. I was also obsessed with those games like X marks the spot, a circle and a dot, 3 big boulders, 1 tiny rock. Those kinds of games, we would play them, I remember, during lunchtime in my elementary school cafeteria, and I just couldn't get enough of them. But it wasn't until fall of 2015 that I actually learned what ASMR was. If you remember, the early mid 2010s were peak time for listicles. BuzzFeed was in its heyday, but I also regularly read a website called cracked.com. I don't know if any of you will know it, but it was kind of like an edgier version of BuzzFeed. I don't know. I was in high school. But I kept up with that website and read it pretty frequently. And I remember fall of 2015, it was my freshman year of college, and they had a article about this strange new art form, and it turned out to be about ASMR. I was reading the article, and they had an interview with Maria from Gentle Whispering, the fairy godmother of ASMR, and they had a link to her Simple Pleasures video. And I don't know if you've seen this video before, but the aura she has in that video is simply astounding. So picture this. I'm in my first semester of college. I'm away from home. My roommate and I didn't really get along. I'm in a long-distance relationship and am overall feeling pretty lonely. And when she gets to this part pretty early in the video, she says something like, life can be such a struggle. And I just started to cry. I felt so incredibly seen by this video. I found it so comforting. It really felt like she was speaking directly to me. And I just fell in love with ASMR. I started to watch it pretty consistently. Went through Maria's entire catalog, and pretty much that was that. I went back and I found that article that introduced me to ASMR, and I don't know if it holds up. It's not the least respectful piece of media that's come out about ASMR, but it's not the most respectful either. It focuses a little bit more on the NSFW side of ASMR, besides this interview with Maria. But that Simple Pleasures video got me hooked. I still listen to it whenever I'm having a particularly bad day, and it just soothes me so much. So for several years, I just watched ASMR, even if I had wanted to start my own channel. I lived with roommates, I was in college, it just wouldn't have really worked out. So I just watched ASMR, and I was juggling a double major and a part-time job. YouTube was not really on my radar. However, in the fall of 2018, so my senior year in college, I studied abroad in Seoul, South Korea. And one of the classes I took was about tea culture and Korean tea ceremony, which I just thought sounded really interesting. A cool cultural class to take while I was an exchange student. And we learned all about how to do tea ceremony. And for our final exam, we ourselves had to perform a tea ceremony. And although it wasn't the reason I signed up for the class, watching someone go through the rhythmic movements and the gentle speaking that one does during tea ceremony, it definitely triggered that autonomous sensory meridian response in me. So in order to practice for the final exam, we were able to go to the classroom outside of class time and use their materials to practice ourselves. So I went with a friend just to practice, and she went through the steps of the ceremony. And then I did the ceremony for her, taking time, trying to emulate those same movements, the same pace, the overall atmosphere of a Korean tea ceremony. And at the end, she just goes, "Wow, that was so relaxing." and I thought, maybe I should start an ASMR channel. And that was honestly what did it for me. I decided then and there that when I got back to the United States, I was going to try and start my own channel. Originally, I even wanted to have my first video be about Korean tea ceremony and teaching you about the different dishes, the different parts of tea ceremony, and then going through the ceremony itself. But I realized I didn't have the right filming setup to shoot a top-down video, and buying the equipment for a tea ceremony is not cheap. Even basic sets can be about $200. At the time, I was just not gonna drop that much money. But originally, that was my plan for my first video, and I would still someday love to do a video about tea ceremony if I can figure out when and where and how to film it. But even after I got back home, I didn't really know what kind of ASMR I wanted to create. I was still in college. I was in my final semester and pretty broke. So I didn't even have a microphone. I didn't have a nice camera. And I was living in a pretty small apartment. So I knew I didn't have the capabilities to do anything super elaborate, but I just went back and looked at the kind of videos that I was drawn to, and it's just simple things, gentle movements, slow, soft speaking, and an overall calming atmosphere, I think is all that one really needs to create an incredible video. And so that's what I tried to focus on. I bought a microphone for $20 or $25 off of Craigslist. That, looking back, I realize is not at all the kind of microphone you'd want for ASMR. It was not binaural, was made for recording, like, singing music, and it just didn't pick up sounds the way you would want for ASMR, but I tried to make it work. It was the only microphone I had. And I thought that I could kind of kill two birds with one stone. I thought, what will make my channel stand out? And I thought that I could use this as a chance to practice my speaking and writing in Korean. I had just gotten back from studying abroad. I knew I was about to graduate and I wouldn't have that many opportunities to continue to use Korean, or so I thought. And writing and practicing and speaking scripts in Korean allowed me to put my skills to the test in a lot of scenarios that I wouldn't have been in otherwise. I've never had to pretend to do someone's eyebrows in Korean. Not a situation that's come up for me in my everyday life. So it was a great opportunity to learn new vocabulary, new situations, and I thought that it might help make my channel stand out. At the time, I didn't have enough confidence to make videos in French or Japanese, even though I'd been studying those languages for a couple of years. Just thought I'll stick with Korean and see what happens. However, the quality of my videos was not very good. The sound, I got a lot of comments that the sound was way too quiet. You want ASMR to be quiet, but it was too quiet to hear. People couldn't hear anything. I guess I just had super sensitive headphones because it wasn't a problem for me. But once I got new headphones, I realized, oh yeah, you literally can't hear anything. This is a problem. So I eventually got a Blue Yeti, but the damage was pretty much already done when it came to channel growth. My first 20-25 videos were not super watchable. So for this first 6 months of my channel, I gained probably less than 100 subscribers. And you may be wondering, what are you talking about? You don't have any videos from 2018, 2019 posted on this channel. Your first video was posted like a year ago. And to that I might say, this is my second channel. A couple of things happened at the same time, and I decided that I just needed a fresh start, to start over and see what would happen. One, the growth on my channel just completely slowed. I had gotten to about 5,000 subscribers over the course of 4 years, and although subscriber count isn't everything, view count isn't everything, it is definitely demoralizing to put a lot of effort into a video and just have no one see it. It's not everything, but it feels pretty bad. The second thing is that I really wanted to change my channel name. The name of my original channel was Hunter ASMR. You can still find it. It only has one video up. But it was Hunter ASMR. Hunter means sky in Korean, and it was also the name that my host family gave me when I first lived in Korea. So I thought that it was a good name. It's obviously not my real name, but was something that people could call me. And as I moved away from posting videos just in Korean, I thought that it didn't really suit my channel as much. I also got some comments asking why I had a Korean channel name when I myself am not Korean, and I just really didn't want it to come off the wrong way, like I was pretending to be Korean or trying to be Korean. I just thought I post a lot of videos in Korean and it might be a suitable name. But since I was posting less and less in Korean and posting more in French and Japanese, I just want to change my channel name. But I had already used an intro screen for all of my videos that said Hanul ASMR. And I thought that if I changed my channel name, then that intro screen might be confusing for new viewers. So I thought I'd have to take these videos down, cut off the intro screen, and then post them back up. And then the last thing was that I just started to get pretty burnt out. I'd been posting fairly consistently for about 4 years, and I just felt like I had run out of ideas. It's a lot of work to script a video in your non-native language. I know lots of ASMR artists do it all the time. Maria, again, is a great example. But I just felt like I had run out of ideas and I wanted to take a break. But I thought that if I took a break even for a couple of weeks, that would be the death knell for my channel. No pun intended. So I thought I just want to start over. I had grown pretty embarrassed of my old videos, the ones that were super poor quality. I wanted to get rid of them. I thought that my old videos didn't really reflect the kind of content I wanted to create. And also, this is a hobby for me. I make a little bit of money off of YouTube, but it's like $100 a month. It's not a job. I have a full-time job, and that is part of what led to burnout, trying to balance the schedule I had imposed on myself. No one was asking me to upload a certain amount, but I had created these expectations in my head of how frequently I needed to post, how often I needed to do role plays, how often I needed to post a video in French versus Korean versus English versus Japanese. I had just created a lot of expectations for myself, and I wasn't having a good time anymore. And at the end of the day, this is a hobby for me. I want to enjoy it. And if I'm not enjoying it, you probably won't get any relaxation out of it. So I thought if I start over, start fresh, then I can really approach this the way I can approach this however I want to. I can post when I want to. I don't have to worry about expectations. I can just have fun with it. And that's really my goal for myself. And I hope that that comes across in the content I create. So yeah. I have some regrets about starting a second channel and scrapping my old one. It wasn't until I deleted the videos from that channel that I realized how much some of them meant to people. It means so much whenever I get a comment from someone saying that my videos have helped them as they're going through school, or they're in the newborn stage with their new child, or going through a difficult period. It means so much to me, and I'm so grateful for that. And some people commented, like, I missed this video. I watched this video all the time. I'm so sad that it's gone. And that video had like 50 views. I didn't think that anyone cared about it, really. And then I started to realize that that just wasn't the case. So I am re-uploading some of my old videos, not all of them, only the ones whose quality I think stands up and are worth re-uploading. Some I've kind of recreated with better audio quality, better video, but I'm having fun again. I get to decide if I want to make another nap video or a role play or a video. I'm just trying to make videos that feel right to me. So I've focused on making videos that feel right to me, and hopefully that comes across to all of you watching. I'm so grateful to everyone who came over from my old channel and stuck around. I'm also grateful to everyone who is brand new. And I hope that for at least one of you, if one of my videos has touched you in the same way that countless ASMR videos have touched or comforted me, I don't expect that any of them will make you cry like Simple Pleasures did for me. But if they've provided you a modicum of comfort or peace during a difficult time, that is beyond what I could hope for. I'm also grateful to everyone who's made it this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear about your own experiences with ASMR in the comments if you have one, or if you have one that you'd like to share. Thank you again for watching, and I am so glad that you're here. I will see you in the next video. Good night.